I wanted to talk about some arcade games. So
Yeah, boy.
we're doing a general conversation on this just because I've mentioned it on the podcast numerous times that I have these arcade 1-up cabinets that I've been kind of messing around with. And so for me, I grew up kind of without arcade. I'm 31. I keep saying I'm 31, but it kind of gives a reference point, I guess. But I grew up in a small town that we didn't have a local arcade, and I don't believe that the big town that we now live in had an arcade 30 years ago or whatever. But my only experience with arcade games was really, Pizza Hut. They had one fucking little multi-cab kind of in the corner, or Chuck E. Cheese, which is kind of an arcade, sort of, kind of. But that was pretty much it. So I am a gaming purist. I try to be. I love looking at the history of the industry and all of that stuff. So the first cabinet I got was the Pac-Man. They're all arcade 1-up machines, and you can shit on me if you want for owning the arcade 1-up machines, but I think they're great. I don't really give a shit what you think about them since they're not original cabinets. They're seen as toys, but I don't really care. They work good for me. I enjoy them. But I got the Pac-Man Legacy Collection. It's got Pac-Man, Pac-Man 2, Super Pac, Pac-Land, Galaga, Dig Dug, Galaxian, bunch of old school retro games. Really, the whole point is I wanted to have somewhat of the original control scheme, because you can play these games on a multitude of consoles in some way, shape, or form, but I wanted the joystick and the button, and just wanted the original layout. Reason for that is I've always looked at arcade games as very primitive, right? They're from the early days of gaming. So as a modern gamer, I look at games and I kind of see them as, what you see is what you get. It's like reading a book by the cover. You see a game and you kind of can pick out what it is. And I was curious if there was anything more intricate to these games than what you see at first glance, and I'm happy to report there absolutely is. There's so many different little mechanics and tricks and things that you can learn in these old games. So despite their age, there's just so many intricacies, and the more that you play them, the more you pick up, and it just really adds an incredible depth to the gameplay systems that every game I've touched has really shown me. And I think that that's incredible. And again, just as someone that likes the history of gaming, to see this era kind of be re-represented and just being able to learn about these games has been an incredibly fun experience for me. So spent a lot of time playing Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Galaga has been my primary grind session game right now. But I've got the Pac-Man collection. I've got the MK2 cabinet that has Root Beer Tapper and Paperboy and all the MKs and Clacks and a bunch of random arcade games on there as well. I got a Turtles cabinet with Turtles in Time and the original TMNT arcade game, and then I've got a Street Fighter cabinet as well. All of these are arcade 1-up cabinets. I'm gonna inevitably mod the Street Fighter cabinet to get every MAME 80s and 90s arcade game that I can get my hands on, because I've just been having an absolute fun. And you know what really surprises me about this as well is I always kind of found it interesting that gaming used to be developed in a way that you were chasing a high score, and I didn't really understand how that worked, right? Because I'm so used to narrative experiences and things like that. But it's really fun to try to beat your high scores, especially in these types of games. Once you get the intricacies of the game down and understand how they work at a very fundamental level, trying to one-up yourself is just a lot of fun. And on top of that, my brother has come over and just fucking wiped the floor clean with all my scores, so I'm constantly trying to fight back and beat his shit. So I just wanted to mention it because I've just been having a fucking blast with these. I was going to do a deep dive on Galaga in this episode, but I just figured there's not a lot to talk about. So I just thought I would do a general discussion on all of them that I've been diving into. And it's been a really fun little pastime on top of the gaming pastime. It's still gaming related, but it's a little different. So I just thought I'd talk about it a little bit and bring it up. So don't give arcade games a shot if you haven't. They're fun. Despite what they look like, they are a lot of fun and a lot more intricate than you would imagine. So
I think this is really cool that you're touching on this stuff. I mean, you said you're 31. That's still freaking young, dude. I don't care how many times you say you're getting old. That's still young. And I don't see a lot of 30-year-olds going back and playing some of these old arcade games. A lot of times they're focused on the new shit. So I think this is really cool that you're diving into this stuff. I did have I grew up in Dubuque, so I
Okay.
lived in Dubuque, Iowa until I was 19, I think, and then that's when I moved here. But we had an Aladdin's Castle, and I actually had my best friend at the time was the manager. Well, not at first, so I should I should back that up a little bit. I would go to Aladdin's Castle all the time, and then when we got into high school, yeah, even like junior year, um my buddy I guess yeah, he was a good friend of mine, but he was a couple years older than I was. So he got a job there and ended up moving up to the manager position. And I would go in and he'd open up the cabinet and
Oh,
just
put it on free
hit
play.
the
Yeah. Hit
Yep,
the coin
put it on.
button.
Well, he'd hit the thing, yeah, the coin button
Yeah.
over and over and over. So I'd have all these, free plays. So I spent a lot of time at arcades, growing up, and I always had a blast. My grandparents also were big campers, but they
Hmm.
had this like really nice like campground that they would go to, and there was an arcade there.
Oh
So
yeah.
every time I go to visit them, I'd be like, "Hi, grandma. Hi, grandpa. Okay, bye," and
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
run down to the
Arcade.
arcade and
Hell
spend
yeah.
most of my time there. So I played a lot of arcade games in my day. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely worth playing.
Absolutely. I just it took me by surprise. I mean, to dive into, mechanics a little bit, like Galaga, for example, there's a system in the game where you can get sucked up and get a second ship. I would have never fucking known that you could do that until I fucked around with the game and found out about it. And same thing
Hmm.
with like Tapper, there's different strategies. Yes, you can memorize patterns, but and really start to set high scores in games like that and stuff. But um yeah, I just love the history, and just having it to me feels like I've got a piece of history. It's something that surprisingly I will fire it up and fuck around with often.
Yeah.
So it's not something that just sits here and collects dust. It's a good little thing to have at the house. If people come over, they can just fire up anything that they want to. It's going to be even better once I get my cabinet modded. So I can just say, you can play whatever the fuck you want on there. So that's going
Yeah.
to be,
I want to come over and
yeah,
play some arcade games.
absolutely, be really cool. I mean, they're fun. They're cool to look at. They're just, and not only that, but they're fun to just mess around with. So, what
Yeah,
what
for
was your
sure.
favorite arcade game back in the Aladdin's Castle days?
Oh boy. So I mean, I always enjoyed Rampage. Played the shit out of that. There was a Paperboy one. There was a original Donkey Kong machine that
Oh
that was at
man,
my grandparents' yeah,
campground.
their
Yeah.
campsite. Yeah, so I played a lot of that. Dig Dug, I played a lot of that. And then, as arcade games started getting more advanced, I really got into like the Street Fighters and they actually had that campground had Street Fighter 1
Mm.
arcade,
Mm-hmm.
which was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they started getting more advanced. I played the shit out of like the Mortal Kombat's.
Mm-hmm.
I really got into the first Killer Instinct
Oh yeah.
in the arcades. Oh dude, I was memorizing stuff and going to the arcades and just wiping people out. I felt way cooler than I actually was. But yeah, I mean a little bit of everything. I don't there isn't anything I won't try. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of there with you. Um,
yeah.
I'm going through phases. I mean, when I really got into it, I started
Yeah.
playing this game called Rompers, which is very similar to like Bomberman, but you got to push
Mhm.
walls over onto enemies to get points, and then get all the keys in the level to progress. I mean, they're very simple, but
Yeah.
they're more they're just a lot more complex than it looks. I've said that 100,000 times. But I started with Rompers, moved over to um, Dig Dug a little bit. Then I have been playing Turtles in Time because fucking Chuck E. Cheese had a Turtles in Time cabinet, and
Fantastic beat 'em up.
I remember distinctly when you walked into Chuck's arcade. That's what a story Chuck E. Cheese is going through. They rebranded
Oh
Chuck E.
man.
Cheese as Chuck's Arcade, and basically they bought out a bunch of like small arcades and just started calling them Chuck's Arcade. It's just the
Yep.
same shit. What a weird thing
Yep.
that our Chuck E. Cheese is long gone. But I just remember going to Chuck E. Cheese and you would hear the Turtles in Time theme fucking
Mhm.
all the time. Like that theme was so loud you could hear it everywhere. So it's just a very massive hit of nostalgia. Um, and then from there, I'm diving into Galaga now and learning that game and its intricacies and just having a blast with it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's
Have
just
you,
go ahead.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I didn't have anything else. I was just blabbing.
Okay. Have you, been to Quarter Barrel downtown at all?
I was gonna go into that. I have not. I want to go really bad. I tried to get my brothers to
Okay.
go. We were gonna make a vlog. I was like, "Come on, we'll vlog going to Quarter Barrel," and they like, "I don't want to fucking do that." So like,
I
whatever.
mean,
Maybe
it's been a year or
you
2
and I
since.
should go.
Oh, dude, I that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we
We
need to
should do
go.
a thing where we go to Coral Barrel. I mean, hopefully we can talk to them and like, I mean, I that's one of the places I deliver to, and I've kind of gotten to know, some of the workers there. So maybe I can talk to someone and be like, hey, can we come in and do like, do a little recording or something like
Yeah,
of us playing these games. But yeah, they have a Turtles in Time. They have the Simpsons arcade game.
nice.
They got Mortal Kombat. They got all that stuff. But there's a lot of old retro cabinets in there as
Yeah,
well too. So
that's what I would love to go. I think there. I mean, I've been to gone to Spare Time over here. That place is fucking a goddamn crime against me. That shit is so
oh
expensive. That's all modern.
boy,
That's all modern shit, and it's ridiculously expensive. Except they have like
it's
the new Centipede game is sweet. That game is
oh yeah, they
awesome.
do.
That new
Is that
Centipede
the one that's on
is
like the huge
huge
huge screen?
monitor. Yeah, that and it's like
Yes.
4-player Centipede. That game is really fun.
Yeah.
But
But the problem with, like, Spare Time is, like, a lot of that shit is, like, designed to, like, win these tickets and stuff to,
yeah,
like, go buy the crap in there's
yeah.
not a lot of good, like, actual just fun arcade games in
So the
there.
modern business model of arcades is that we don't have. We're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They'll just dox ourselves. Fuck it. That's where we're at. That's where we work. We don't. So the modern arcade formula, the way that people are able to keep arcades alive in 2026 is they set up free play arcades. So there's an entry fee, and then they have a bar, like a full service bar with an entry fee. So you pay an entry fee, you have the bar access to get their money that way, but they set all of their cabinets up on free play. So you just
Mhm.
basically can walk in, you can play. I would love nothing more than to be able to run a free play arcade like business someday in
Oh,
the
yeah,
future,
dude.
but like that's never gonna fucking happen, dude. You gotta have so much money to invest in cabinets and
Oh,
shit like that to even get
big
it off the
investment.
ground. Yeah, and
Yep.
we don't have the. Our town has got 100,000 people in it, right? So
Mm.
it's it wouldn't thrive in this environment. You really need
No.
a big, 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 big city where you know that it's going to do well. So that wouldn't work here. But I would love for there to be a free play arcade around me anywhere. What's funny is like Iowa is the home of twin galaxies. They're probably 3 hours south of us in Ottumwa is where they're based out of. So
Oh,
they were the original like leaderboard on the internet for arcade games, like keeping high scores and tracking the top arcade players. So they
hmm,
have a big arcade in Ottumwa, but I'm not fucking driving to
no,
Ottumwa to go play arcade games
no.
unless I can make a whole fucking day out of it, which I don't even know how that's laid out there. I know that the twin arcade or the Twin Galaxies arcade is still there, but it is what it is. Anyways,
I
weird
didn't even know that.
conversation. Yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep doing shit like that. I'm gonna keep playing it, taking up time away from stuff that I should be working on to cover on the show. But it's just a really fun. It just, I don't know. I just,
No.
I feel
You don't even
cool.
need to explain it.
I feel cool owning these things, even though I have no
Yeah.
friends and no one comes over and plays them with me. But Jason's gonna have to find some time away from the family to come in and show
Oh,
me how
I
to play
will.
these
I will.
games for sure.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I mean, I just wanna play them.
I have a question for you, uh,
Yeah.
and you probably might not even know this. Did you ever play Blitz on the arcade cabinet?
A football game?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have.
Okay, so
I was never, like, a sports gamer.
I want to mod the Street Fighter cabinet that I have because it's got the default joystick 6-button configuration, which is from all the cabinets I own, that's the most standard control layout.
Yeah.
So that would work
Yep.
across the vast majority of games. If you ever used a MK, if you've ever been at an MK cabinet, I think the button layout on an MK machine sucks. It's basically an X,
Mhm.
and it's terrible. So your block button's in the middle, and you have to like.
It's terrible.
It's just a terribly designed console, so I didn't want to mod that one. The Pac-Man console is a joystick and one button. Well, technically 3 buttons because Pac-Land is a side-scrolling game. That game fucking sucks too, by the way. Maybe it doesn't suck. I haven't played it enough. This cat will not leave me alone. Roscoe, do you want to say hi?
Hi, Roscoe.
Thanks.
It's
anyway,
like, what the hell was that thing?
Yeah, so that one I could mod for like really old 80s, 90s stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because I'm considering modding my Turtles cabinet because that's a 4-player cabinet. I just don't know how many buttons Blitz had and NBA Jam had, because that's really what I'd want to play on that as well. And I know that Arcade 1-Up made NBA Jam and Blitz cabinets. I've overspent on fucking arcade. I would not be able to justify another one down here with my wife. So
Right. Yeah.
I just don't know what the configuration is, and maybe I bought the wrong cabinet. Maybe I should have bought a Blitz cabinet, and that would take care of it. But I have the Turtles
I
cabinet.
couldn't tell you the buttons on Blitz. I mean, NBA Jam I think only has
2.
There's 2 or 3. 2.
2,
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Pass and shoot. I think there's
Damn
a
it.
sprint.
Oh yeah, there is a sprint. Because I think
So there'd be
I think my
3?
Turtles is only 2. Attack and jump.
Attack and jump. Yeah.
Butts. Well,
So I don't know. Yeah.
So maybe not. Well, I could play Blitz on my Street Fighter 2 machine, I guess.
Yeah. I think so.
Anyway, that's a long project away from now, but
Yeah.
I do want to
Yep.
get that done. I'm excited to do that. It should be cool.
It'd be cool.
But yeah, I just wanted to dive into it. Arcade 1-Up's now out of business. They got bought by another company, so I don't know. I know that there's a Neo Geo MX 3/4 scale console that I want really bad. It's a Neo Geo cabinet, just like those, but it's got all the Neo Geo stuff on it. But that all requires money.
When I was a kid, I thought Neo Geo was like the coolest thing because it like the graphics were so much better. I was like, God, I want a Neo Geo, but they were so expensive.
Dude, stupid.
So
stupid. And then the game cartridges were
expensive.
fucking
The game cartridges
massive. Oh my gosh, what a joke.
And they were super expensive too.
Yeah, and now look where we're at with games. Now
Yeah, right.
arcade games can't even compete, which is so sad.
No,
That's so sad. It's
it
such
is.
I just wish I could have experienced going into an arcade. It'd be with my fucking people, right? A bunch of dorks that
dude,
are
it
in
was
there just
awesome.
fucking who are here to fucking play
Yep.
games. And that's it. Like, where is that nowadays? There's nothing around here. We have
It's just not. It's
we have a side load arcade off a laundromat that I know about that I used to play games at over in Marion. When I had to go to the laundromat. Thank God I don't have to fucking do that anymore. But
oh God.
they had some stuff in there that was cool. I should go back there sometime. There's never a fucking soul in there, so I could record there freely without even worrying about it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
But they had like a Silver Strike cabinet. I don't even remember. At that time, I wasn't big into stuff, so I would go in there and play Silver Strike bowling. The other arcade machine I want is fucking Golden Tee. The Arcade 1-Up did make a Golden Tee cabinet, so I actually bought it. I bought it from Kohl's. I had the Golden Tee on the way from Kohl's, and they canceled the order on me. I was so sad. and then when that got canceled, I went and bought my 2 machines from the crackhead, and that was small ass town to fill my sorrow for not getting my Golden Tee cabinet. But
right.
Anyways, arcade games are fucking sick. So
They're awesome.
that's it for that. I think that's games for this week, man.